Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So, these are my thoughts on that really annoying, frustrating result that we just had against United. Obviously, going into this match with all the results that happened on the weekend, we had a real good opportunity to, if we won, to go third and go, I think, 3 points behind City and five behind Liverpool, but also go 2 points ahead of Arsenal, who we obviously played next weekend. We obviously we played our B team in the League Cup this week, so we had all our players rested. Everyone was fully fit. I had no injury issues. We were coming into play United, who obviously they sacked their manager recently, but they're still this coming into this game. They're still the United that have been awful all season, and we should beat. Like we shouldn't struggle against this United team. We've been really impressive all this season, and this should not be a match which we should struggle with. Um, Obviously, going into this match, I think every Chelsea fan knew that our record at Old Trafford has been absolutely abysmal over the last 10 years. I think our last win there was in 2013, so 11 years ago. Um, in the league anyway. Awful record to have, but you're not going to get a better time to break that record than this match. So, with all that being said, our lineup was Sanchez in goal, Gusto on the right, Fofana and Colwill as our centre backs, Reece on the left, Caicedo and Lavia as our midfield. Enzo's really sticking with that midfield now, and obviously Fernandez is playing in the B team as such. But he clearly likes the dynamic that we have with Caicedo and Lavia, and they're both brilliant. They're both physical presences in that midfield as well, and we've controlled basically every single match since they've been kind of paired up together. But anyway, Madueke on the right, we had Neto on the left. Loving him playing. I still would prefer him on the right. Palmer central and Jackson up top. Yeah. So into the first half, and going into this match with our really bad record at Old Trafford, again, 11 years, we haven't won this since 2013. Doesn't matter which team we bring, doesn't matter if we're a league winning side, a Champions League winning side, we just can't beat them, which is frustrating as it is. But I kept thinking this is our best opportunity in years we've really had where we're going in as clear favourites. We should be able to win this match. um, for me, I kind of expected the first 15 minutes were going to be very difficult. United technically have a new manager bounce as such, as they now know Amarin is going to be joining them. The players are going to be up with trying to impress the new manager. The crowd should be up for it as well because they should be in a much better mood. And I knew our team being quite young, the atmosphere might be quite difficult, at least for the first 15 minutes. But it was such a bad game. It's a weird one. Like, United were awful. But instead of us playing our normal football, our normal great attacking football, our speedy football, where we can counter attack you from one or two passes being in our own half to just all of them being in your box, it felt like we were brought down to their level. So instead of us being able to play through them like we should be able to do with our players and with our form, we were just as bad as them. I think we edged it on possession, maybe edged it on shots and opportunities, but we were just. It was a really bad first half. It was very slow, very lethargic. Players couldn't really find any combinations. They couldn't find each other. Jackson was so quiet. Even Palmer was quite quiet. Neto was quiet. Madueke was quiet. I think the one moment Madueke had, obviously, when he jumped up for a corner, hits the post, very unlucky. But other than that, it didn't really do anything. Um, it was a really bad first half. But one player who kind of worries me at the moment is Gusto. Obviously, he's been playing as a right back and Reece as our left. Personally, I think that needs to stop. Um, Malagusta playing as a right back when he kept drifting into the middle, and that meant he was picking up the ball in really dangerous positions. Um, and it's frustrating because every time he got the ball in an offensive position, it was a very good opportunity for us, and he'd either slip, have a poor shot, or just make the wrong decision. And it kept me. I was always thinking if Reece was playing in this position and picked the ball up in this exact position, position, it at least get a shot off and maybe score. Who knows? But at least it'd get a shot off. So in a really bad half of football, I mean, there's not much to talk about for the first half. It was just awful. Again, just too lethargic, and even the crowd was very quiet. It was a weird match. I think in reality, it's one of the worst matches. Sorry, I think it's the worst one of the worst halves we played all season. But anyway, so we go into halftime 0-0, and you're thinking, surely, surely we'll improve. And then we come out for the second half, and you see there's a change. Like Cucurella's coming on for Gusto, so Reece is going on the right, Cucurella is going on the left, and you're like, good, 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 good. This is a good decision. Gusto, I don't know what's up with him, but he clearly needed to come off. He just wasn't having a great game. And I, personally, I thought surely now is when we're going to really take this match and take control. Because despite us being awful, United were just as bad, and it meant that we had an opportunity there, and we really should have taken advantage. But the second half was just as bad. Again, there was no movement. The amount of times when I would see one of our centre backs get the ball, or maybe even Caicedo get the ball, and every player in front of him would be static. So there would be no movement. So there's no runners. There was no runners for some reason. I don't know what was up with Jackson, Madueke, even Neto at points, but there was no movement in front of the midfield, so they couldn't pick anyone out, and it was just so frustrating. It meant that we went back a lot. It meant that we had a lot. I mean, we had a lot of possession, but we didn't really create anything. Um, in fact, United were beginning to pick up more and more opportunities, which was a slight concern. Defensively, again, we weren't bad, but there was one moment which led to the penalty. I think it was Casemiro who just lost the ball in, and Fofana. This is a really frustrating moment. Fofana jumps, but he's completely like lost sight of where Højlund is. So he jumps and he misses the jump. Højlund gets the ball, and it's a poor first touch. It's a really poor first touch, but Sanchez still comes flying out, and he just like it's a clear penalty. It's one of those really frustrating things that I think Reece was already back at that point. Højlund's not scoring. He's not scoring in that opportunity. All you need to do as a goalkeeper is come out and try and make yourself look big. Don't throw yourself to the ground, because, like in this situation, if you don't get anything on the ball and you get some of the man, it's gonna be a penalty. And it was a penalty, and it's one of those. It was so easily avoidable. For one thing, Fofana needed to track where Højlund was. That's poor that he didn't. Another thing, Sanchez just try and make yourself big. Like Højlund is literally moving away from goal. He's not scoring that opportunity. He's not got like he's not scoring that chance. You already have Reece who's back there as well. So it's shocking. It's shocking. We can see the penalty. I think it's like the 75th minute or so. Not even the 70th minute. Even obviously Fernandes comes up. He sends him the wrong way, and you're just like, this is just it's typical. It's typical. Everything was pointing towards we should be winning this match, and we haven't turned up, and they haven't really turned up as well. It's just we've gifted them a penalty through just really just poor, through a poor mistake. And at that point, I was thinking, yeah, this is should have seen this one coming. Great, but then, then we get a corner. Get corners like things like 3-4 minutes later. We get a corner. It's in the box. It's cleared, and the ball is like as the ball's coming down, you're seeing Caicedo just standing there, and he scored 1 or 2 goals. But this was incredible. He just waits for it to come down. He volleys it. He actually goes between Mudrik's like legs in the end, right into the bottom corner, and what a goal! I mean, he was man of the match for a reason. He was the best player on the pitch for either side, but especially us. Great finish. I mean, what a goal! What the more he's playing at the moment, the more like okay, maybe not bargain because 110 million is a crazy amount of money, but it now feels like it really was money well spent. And I mean, what a goal! What an important goal! And at that point, I was beginning to think maybe we're going to win this. Maybe we're now going to get the opportunity to finally kind of end this curse, because we for the next like 5-6 minutes we dominated that match. We controlled it. We suffocated them. We didn't really create anything though. This is the frustrating thing. For all of that control that we had for the next like 5-10 minutes, we didn't really force Onana to do anything. And the more we push for it, the more opportunity it was that we're going to be hit on the counter attack. And it happened a few times that we just let them through. And I think Garnacho missed a chance by it just going over the crossbar. Bruno Fernandes completely mishit his shot. Like the more we were in their own half, the more likely it was that we were also going to concede, which was frustrating. But in the end, it's just a few minutes added on, and yeah, it's really leaning over just a 1-1 draw. And well, actually, there's one incident I do want to talk about. It involved Martinez and Palmer. Um, Palmer gets the ball and he flicks it over Martinez. Martinez knows that he's not going to get the ball. He knows, and he's just been embarrassed by Palmer, and he just goes studs up into Palmer's legs, so into Palmer's knee, just goes slightly below his knee as well. Um, it's a straight red card. It's a straight red card. Personally, I cannot stand Lissandro Martinez. I think he's a horrific. Like he's just an aggressive footballer who just he seems to always try and want to injure someone as well. It was a straight red card. It's a straight. I don't care who you are. That's a straight red card. The intent is there, and he got very lucky that he didn't make contact with Palmer's kneecap. We got very lucky he didn't make contact with Palmer's kneecap, but the intent is there. That should have been a red card. I don't know what the ref and what VAR were thinking. I think it's very interesting how all the ex-professionals who were talking about it were all talking about how yes, it is a red card, 100%. And Mike Dean, the ex-ref, is saying no. I think that's telling us to how bad the officiating is when the ex-pros are saying you can see the intent, and the referees are like, nah, no, you can't. Like, I'm not going to go into my opinion on the Premier League referees. As I don't think any of them are good. That's not the point. The point is that we wasted a huge opportunity to go third. We weren't good enough in the end. 1-1 was probably a fair result. They had opportunities right at the end that if they were better than they are, they would have scored. We should have probably done. We didn't turn up. Bar Caicedo and Neto, we didn't really turn up today. It is what it is. Our next game is on Thursday against Noah in the Conference League. I expect the second team to be playing that match. I don't really like using the word second. I expect the conference team to be playing that match. And then next weekend, it is a huge match against Arsenal. That is a big match. It's at Stamford Bridge. We have to win that. We are now level on points with Arsenal with a better goal difference. We have to win that match. Like that is so important. We should have beaten them last year, but we capitulated. And it ended up being 2-2. This year, we have to win. We just have to beat them. So anyway, if you guys enjoyed this content, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you all on Thursday in the Conference League.